showed one officer being doused in petrol and set alight. Here's our Mexico correspondent, Will Grant.
The protesters are furious over the death of Mr. Lopez, who was arrested in May, apparently for not wearing a face mask, and then subsequently died from injuries he received while in police custody. When his family went to the hospital to find him, they were told he had received a head trauma injury, and they say he had also been shot in the leg. The governor of the state of Jalisco, Enrique Alfaro, who has pushed for more stringent measures on tackling the spread of coronavirus, blamed supporters of the president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, for the unrest.
An Australian media company that announced its closure in March appears to have been saved. The Australian Associated Press, which is 85 years old, said it was being sold to a group of philanthropic investors. BBC News.
明天的希望无限，听见台北的人情味，全世界活力在线，全都在台北 Radio。
公民总主笔，
方恩格时间。
当家抢先报，你不能不知道。
在今天晚上公民总主笔方恩格的时间当中，我们邀请到台北就在艺术空间的总监林佩玉。为了呼应艺廊就在这里就是现在的概念，策展艺术家会将艺廊的空间特色和现场条件整合到作品当中，让环境与展览体验进行结合。在今晚的时间里，林佩玉总监也将与我们来讨论台北的当代艺术、艺廊管理以及就在艺术空间最近的展览，一起来了解在台北经营艺廊的艺术。
谁当家？
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 你当家？
谁当家？
谁当家？谁当家？
我当家？你当家？
我当家？
到底谁当家？你来当家。
Welcome to the Residence Messenger program on Taipei Broadcasting Station. I'm your host, Ross Darrell Feingold. Today we are joined by Peggy Lin of Project Fulfill Art Space. Peggy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ross.
Now, before we talk about the world of art and specifically contemporary art in Taipei, I'm going to ask you a really difficult question to start the show.
Okay.
And that question is whether you're talking to foreign friends, Taiwanese friends. When you say that you're in the art business, that you run a gallery, what are the reactions you typically get from people? The funny ones or the strange ones or the ones from people who actually just understand what you do?
I think for general public, it'll be like, oh.
So they're very impressed.
Yeah,
it's like when you say you went to some amazing university, people are always impressed.
And then immediately, like in my age, my generation, they will immediately thought about Charlotte from Sex and the City. Mm-hmm. And then I have to correct them. Totally not the case. not what you are looking at right now, like dressed up and then, behind the scene, it was really harsh.
Yeah, so that's a perfect transition to our questions. Tell us a bit about growing up. You grew up in Taiwan?
Yeah, I grew up in Taiwan.
In which part?
Taipei.
And when you were a child, did you say to yourself, I'm going to run an art gallery?
No, I just want to do something related to beautiful things.
So it was always an interest of yours?
Yes.
Not science, math, things like
totally
the typical, what parents always want their children to do.
No. And I really think, grateful for my parents that they just let me to do what I want to do.
And what were some of the creative things that you did do as a child that you had an opportunity to participate in?
I like drawing, paintings, and then, when I was still a little girl, I did try to learn some like needleworks.
Oh. What about
just
traditional?
Very, very simple.
What about the traditional arts like calligraphy and things like that? Did you have some exposure?
Well, calligraphy,
what a reaction!
Handwriting is really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just like to drawing and painting and handcrafting.
But handcraft or needlework, those aren't things we would typically associate with contemporary art, which is what you do nowadays. You're focused more on contemporary art. So was there a time when you started to think more about contemporary art as opposed to needlework and
Well, I think that was after, really, like right after I went to New York to study, and then I encountered what's called the contemporary arts. That was really, really.
Tell us a bit about going to New York. Did you go to New York because you knew you wanted to develop a career in art management?
Yes, because in college I learned oil painting for like maybe 4 years, and then I just realized it would be only the hobby. Not
You're being very modest.
So
wait, was this your own decision, or did the instructors come to you and say, Peggy, you're very nice, you're very intelligent, but we got to tell you,
really interesting.
Have you thought about something else?
No, actually, I just feel like, well, this is just kill time. I really like it, but to be as an artist. When I take a look around, I know it would be really difficult.
Don't be modest, Peggy. Tell us it was. There's 1,000 applicants, and you were one of the 10 who got in.
Well, actually, I know how. I think I know how to apply. Flew there and then meet the professor, and then just talk to them. Because I know that I think it was the master, you need a score, not
the GRE.
GRE. Oh, I knew I cannot make it, so I was trying to meet the professor and then talk to them and then show my passion and then see I'm here, and then
you said I'm from Taiwan. You need more diversity in this program.
Yes. And then
you played the diversity card.
I think I didn't really submit my score.
And they still let you in?
Yes.
And did you have to write a thesis for this kind of program?
Thesis after or before?
During the program?
Yes.
And what was your thesis about?
I think something about Taiwan Museum or Foundation, because I was the non-profit
side. And while you were in New York, and I'll be honest with us, Peggy, did you because I'm from New York City, so I have a little bit of bias. I think after Taipei, of course, New York City is the greatest city in the world. Yes, Taipei is number one.
Totally agree.
And I always say that because we're in Taipei. But anyway, did you think about staying in New York? Because you already had a background in painting, which you studied in college, and you got this master's in arts management with a focus on nonprofits. So there'd be a lot of opportunity in New York City to stay there. New York City is a great place. But you thought about coming back to Taiwan?
Well, New York is a great place, yes, but not really friendly for foreign students. Especially my major was quite niche, and then gallery business, or in general art business.
Well, this is the kind of business where they give you they'll give you a job, but it pays nothing at the beginning.
Exactly, and then if you want to stay, of course you have to apply the visa. Oh my God, it's difficult. It's really, really rare. I remember in my grade, probably maybe 1 or 2 only got to stay and then work in the art
in this field.
So after a while, after the practical training, well, my friend did help me out with the visa, but then it was in the construction company.
So you worked in a construction company in New York.
And being as a secretary.
It wasn't for the Trump construction company, was it?
No, small one. And then I just realized after a year, I don't want to waste my time just because I want to stay here. And also, my parents already spent a lot of money, try to get the education go through. So I think I better just come back to Taipei. Yeah.
And nowadays, compared to when you went to the U.S., there are more opportunities to study these subjects in Taiwan or other parts of Asia. Maybe there's no need to go so far away and spend so much money in the United States. Yeah. Would you still recommend, though, that people consider, if they want to develop a career in arts management, that they go abroad to study? Or they could study that right here in Taiwan or closer to home?
Yeah, because when I was in my time, there was no visual administration in Taiwan. So I went there because I want to do something related to art, not creating. But, after a while, after these years, I think, the suggestion for younger students who would like to pursue the art career to study art administration, I think my suggestion would be work first and get some experience and
Excellent
know
advice.
exactly what you want. And then go, like what you want to learn or what do you want to meet, or if the networking is the key elements, the key point you want to do, I probably would suggest you can go abroad to study, because there will be more people you can meet and then more resources.
What I always find is a lot of young people don't appreciate, even within a specific field, a specific business like the arts industry, they don't necessarily know the many types of jobs that exist within the industry. They might think, there's either artists or gallery owners, and they don't realize that actually there are a number of different kinds of jobs that are still broadly within this field.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I said, because I would say if I had a second chance to go back, I think I would grab the chance to do more networking. I think that's the key.
But you would still go to New York, I hope, because I'm from New York, so we got to endorse New York. But then you came back to Taipei, and eventually you decided to open your own gallery. What did people say to you when you said, you know what, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to open my own business? Did people say, great idea, we support you, and we're going to invest? Or did people say, well, are you sure you want to do that?
Half and half, both.
Half and half.
For the professional people, like in the gallery, like my older generation, half and half. Half like, go for it, and then the other half, are you sure about that?
And we should add that the gallery is very successful. In fact, 2 years ago, it was the 10th anniversary.
Yes.
in 2018. So the business opened in 2008. 2018, you had a very big 10th anniversary year. You recently published a book
just recently, yes,
about the 10th anniversary and all the exhibitions that you held in your 10th anniversary year. So obviously the business has been a huge success. But if we go back to that first initial period, you said half the people said, great idea. Half the people said, oh, you sure you want to do that? So we'll forget about that. So you decided to go for it.
Yes, go for it.
How do you build a gallery? I mean, how do you locate the right space? How do you fix it up the way you want it to be fixed up? I mean, how do you go from the idea to actually opening the doors for a gallery?
Well, I would say I was naive plus reckless.
And you're honest too.
I am really honest, and so I'm not the second generation from the gallery family business.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but even to build the space, I think I learned from the hard way. After 1 or 2 years, I have to remodel a little bit because I didn't know, like, even the lighting system, you have to quite precise the distance between wall and the ceiling.
And you're speaking as somebody who had been to many galleries, who had studied about galleries.
But the detail, we just didn't know. And by the way, remember, non-profit. Non-profit was about a museum, foundation, non-profit. So I didn't really know about the gallery, seriously.
And once you opened up the gallery, what was more challenging, getting artists to exhibit at a new gallery or getting customers to come to a new gallery?
Both. And I think it's...
Wait, are you saying that the artists are they have an ego and they say, you're a new gallery, I don't want to exhibit with you?
Yeah.
Well, you're giving them a chance to exhibit, sell their stuff.
So that's why before I opened the gallery, I was working in the Art Taipei, the art fair in Taiwan. It was one of the only. And I met some young artists, up and coming. So that's why that was my first resource. And then, I invited
offices. How do you get them to come to a new gallery or to the exhibitions at a new gallery?
I think it was the second year or the first year. The government give us the coupon type, like the one we are going to have.
Yeah,
and
they
I
seem
remember
to really like this
it
idea.
was 6,500. And that was, I did a second or third show. I grabbed that chance. I said, let's do, like, it's called something like art on balcony, because I have a, gallery space. There is a balcony. So I said art on balcony, and then you can use the coupon, and then the lowest, the best price for a piece is 6,500.
So you're basically giving it away?
Yes, but we collect, and then we can get the cash.
The money from the government.
Yes. So I think that was the time when I attract some younger generation and my friends, and because there was about over 80 pieces of work filled in my gallery, and it was quite interesting to look at. It's not really like a really serious show, like you only had a painting one wall or two. It's like all over. And I think somehow people thought that, Project Fulfill is quite flexible. And then after that, I did to me, it's really, really important show that I work with a Japan curator, and he brought me like 6 very good contemporary Japanese artists, and 2-3 of them was already famous. So the serious collector saw the advertisement and then came to my gallery. And I think that was the moment I really realized I really need to have a good program, good project to attract like more people, like serious collector for my future.
And tell us a bit about the importance of time and space concepts, both for the design of the gallery space as well as the kind of art that you feature, because on the gallery's website, this is something that you discuss a lot about how important it is. So tell us a little bit about that.
I think the name in English, Project Fulfill, well, actually I thought about that because I was in New York, and then Project Runway was really a big hit. So
you've mentioned Project Runway and Sex and the City. So you watch a lot of TV,
from New York. So I think Project Fulfill is like if you have any project to the space, or if you have any projects, we can accomplish and then we can fulfill what you want. That's the initial point. And so after maybe, it was like I think the third year was really important to me. I realized we need good projects, and then we attract the collector, and then somehow you asked about the contemporary art. In New York, I think there was so many kinds of exhibition you can look at, not only sculpture from the ground, painting on the wall. There are so many site specific installation, but when I came back I didn't see any. Well, I won't say any, but in the gallery space. So, but that part I really interested, and also of course video art. So I decided to focus more on that, and then maybe 4 years later, 4 or 5 years later, my very good friend, also a gallerist, she said that, you know what, I think your space you can really, really emphasize on projects, because every project you do in the gallery, probably you need to have a bigger, ambitious, like you cannot, reproduce in another space. This is the project you can only see in Project Fulfill, and then that's the only place you can really real for the artist. You can really realize what you want to do.
So you make a lot of use of light and sound and
light, sound, video arts.
But ultimately, the goal is for the artist. We have to be frank. The goal is for the artist to sell some artwork.
Yes.
Right. So you're not selling them the sound. You're not selling them the light.
I did.
How? Tell us a little bit about selling the sound in the
Sound,
light.
I think sound, we sold, well, after a while, you know who you can sell to. Like for the sound piece to the museum. And then I remember somehow just hit me. And then I told the director, you know what, this is interaction. And then it's really, really good for the education for the kids about, you know, what kind of sound and then where does it come from, and then sold. So and then also, yeah, I think I sold pretty much a lot of sound pieces, and some of the sound objects, it can be just like an object and you can just carry on, carry and then just using one plug, and then
So it is art that people could install in their homes
easily,
as well.
Easily. Yeah, so both. Like for a museum piece, I know where to sell, who to sell. And then for the private collection, you can do something like smaller.
Tell us a little bit about the private collectors in Taiwan. We know that people in Taiwan are certainly familiar with more traditional Chinese style art or Japanese style art. It seems, and I'm not speaking as an expert, Peggy, but that a lot of people in Taiwan are also familiar with more traditional European style painting, furniture, sometimes real, sometimes reproduction. But what about the knowledge of individuals and collectors for contemporary art?
I think for contemporary art collector, well, I have to say, there's still a lot. Like they are interested in contemporary art, and for those serious ones, they have more information and knowledge than me, I have to say.
But because they travel.
They travel more than me, more than the gallerist. And I think for those who travel a lot, and then they really know what contemporary art is. But for like more general public, there's still a bit way to go.
Well, that's good news for you, right? Because it means that the market has a lot of potential.
Yes.
It's yet to reach saturation.
Yes, but my gallery is a bit difficult, a little bit different than other contemporary gallery, because I have to say, like, you know, like I mentioned, maybe 80% for a year are sound, installation, video, conceptual, and only maybe 15 to 20 paintings. So for general public, when they step into my exhibition, they probably will be either surprised and then try to learn, but most of them only stay maybe 5 minutes to 2 to 5 minutes. Yeah.
You're actually tracking this data.
Yeah, because I do have a monitor next to me. I was like, oh, who is this? And then
they come in and they come out, right?
10 seconds. Are you serious?
They really understand the art. So for the people who understand it, would you be able to put an age range on it? Say younger people get it, or actually no, it's people who are a little older, maybe in their 40s or 50s, because they travel. People at that age maybe have the financial ability to travel more.
I think mine older and younger. For younger generation, the portion, I think older maybe 60%, and the younger generation 40%.
Well, I guess younger people have a bit shorter attention span as well, so maybe they can't really focus so much on the...
Yeah, probably that's also the reason why. Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a short break, but we are here with Peggy Lin of Project Fulfill, one of Taipei's most well-known gallerists, and we'll be back right after these important messages.
주겠어 너의 거짓에 난 질려버렸어 I know if you go 난 널 원하지 않아 네가 떠나면 그건 오히려 내가 원하던 이별 You know if you go 너는 후회할 거야 지금 너 행복하다고 착각하지마 너는 불행한 거야
You might just take me off You come to this late What? You go away?
이번에 나를 속인 후에 다음은 누가 갈 건지 이제 나와 상관없어 그래 마음대로 해 그렇게 살고 싶어 너는 여자로 태어난 거니 나는 널 포기하겠어 내가 보기에 넌 미쳐버렸어 I know if you go 난 널 원하지 않아 네가 떠나면 그건 오히려 내가 원하던 이별 You know if you go 너는 후회할 거야 지금 너 행복하다고 착각하지마 너는 불행한 거야 너를 위로한 채 나는 찾아가겠어 나에게 다가오는 내 마지막 사랑을 더욱더 솔직하게 더욱더 순수하게 너의 생활과는 다른 나의 사랑을 너는 모르겠지 이런 나 비웃겠지 하지만 생각해봐 네 모습을 사랑에 행복해하는 사람의 눈에는 네가 얼마나 불쌍해 보이겠니 I know if you go 난 널 원하지 않아 네가 떠나면 그건 오히려 내가 원하던 이별 You know if you go 너는 후회할 거야 지금 너 행복하다고 착각하지마 너는 불행한 거야
收听台北广播电台 FM 93.1 AM 1134，让你的心情嗨起来。大家好，我是陈零九。
饮用水、泡面、罐头、巧克力、饼干。
妹妹，你拿太多了。
老师说，平时就要准备好3天的防灾食物。
啊，防灾食物？
防灾食物是可常温长期保存且有营养，才能确保台风或地震来时，我们身体摄取足够所需的营养哦。
以上广告由消防署提供。
台北市公幼于6月8号起优先招收2到5岁需要协助及学区内5岁幼儿，6月11号起招收其他一般生。登记录取规定，请详阅公幼招生简章，并欢迎利用招生一点通系统线上办理。部分优先资格仍需备齐文件现场登记。以上内容由台北市政府教育局提供。
2020历史复活节中正有意思系列活动，在109年3月14号到8月16号开始办理。活动包含中正行基点线面、杂草烧漫、漫步城市采集历史、智慧实境中正古迹寻宝地图、李国鼎故居历史复活亲子手作、北门影中基及导览、台北城茶文化体验讲座、小白宫面具手作派对、华山青春热舞竞赛及中正积木王亲子乐高竞赛等9项活动，邀请您一同西游中正，体验古迹历史人文之美。详情请洽中正区公所网站查询，或电洽02-2341-6721分机316。以上内容由台北市中正区公所提供。
Welcome back to Residence Messenger with Ross Darrell Feingold, and today our guest is Peggy Lin of Project Fulfill Art Space, one of Taipei's best-known gallerists. which is a word for somebody who operates a gallery. Is there a feminine and a masculine, or it's just gallerist for both men and women?
Men and women both.
Okay, so the art world, they're very open-minded there.
Yes.
Before we talk about specific exhibitions at the gallery, has the virus had any effect on the operations of the gallery?
Well, basically, we didn't really feel sales-wise. For bigger piece, people make the decision slower. For a smaller piece, it's the same. So, and for visitors, we put more focus on the social media, try to promote more through Instagram or Facebook or our website, and then email. So I think visitors are the same, and I would say even more than before.
Why is that?
Because we did a really good job on Instagram.
So you have great exhibitions, great Instagram.
Yes.
And maybe some people are working from home. So instead of working, they're coming out to the gallery.
And also, some gallery closed a few months ago, maybe 2 months, and some just shortened the business hours, and we are the same, stay the same. Probably people are like, I want to see something. I think only Peggy opened, so that's
so
why
come on over to your gallery.
They don't have any choice.
Now, do staff wear masks or gloves, or do they take the temperature of people entering the gallery?
Yes, the standard procedure.
Just like a lot of other business establishments now.
Yes.
Yeah, but having to do that, staff wearing masks, for example, does that change the experience for visitors to the gallery, or do you find it really makes no difference that the staff are wearing masks?
There's no difference. We try to protect ourselves and the family and then others, so it's okay, totally fine.
And were there any exhibitions that you had planned to do that you couldn't do because maybe an artist couldn't come to Taiwan during this period?
Yes. Right before Chinese New Year in Wuhan, that was a 小年夜, the day before Chinese New Year, the New Year's Eve. Wuhan closed, right?
Yeah, they had their lockdown.
And so day before that, and my artist who's supposed to show in May, just now, last Saturday, called me because it's a duet. Call me, one of them. Oh, he's from Wuhan. I was like,
so he was actually in Wuhan for New Year's,
he just went back for Chinese New Year. I was like, oh my God, the feeling's like jackpot, but in a really negative way. And I really had a really bad time during the vacation. And yeah, of course, I consult with some curators, artists, and then I just remember the artist I'm showing right now, Heidi, who is very mature, professional artist, and then she constantly making works, not because of you invite them to have a show and then they started to create. She's keep on doing what she wants to do. So I just maybe she can do it, and she pulled out the show in four months. Beautiful show. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about reconfiguring the space for a new show. If somebody wants to remodel their home, they maybe know who to call, interior designer. If something's broken, you know who to call. You know to call the repair person. Something's leaking, you call the plumber. Who do you call to reconfigure a gallery for a different exhibition that needs to be specific to the artwork and specific to the artist as well as yourself as the gallerist? Who does this? Who specializes in fixing up a gallery?
We do have we have a professional installation company, and then of course for the partition or extra wall, we also ask for the interior designer, their company, to do the woodworking. And for something specific like video work, we do need a professional installation company to do that. And then plus artists also, most of the artists would also help out with that.
And all these services are available in Taiwan?
Yes, we have a couple, maybe at least in Taipei, the very good ones, we have 3 or 4 companies who can do that. If you want to hang the painting, I can do that. Okay, yeah, no problem.
You're gonna knock the nails into the wall.
Oh no, we use the drill. Easier.
Okay, it's gotten a little bit modern since the last time I hung up the painting.
Yeah. Watch your nail.
Yeah, but after you do the design and you do all this work, does it ever occur that it doesn't quite look like what you had in mind? So the designers do the design and the companies come in to build the walls or whatever else needs to be done. Does it ever not match the vision and you need to do some extra work before you're ready to actually open the exhibition?
From my not really. I think only the painting were on, and then something wrong with the placement, and we just change it. But for space, if there's really, I don't recall we do that, like knock down the wall and rebuild it. Not really, but maybe need some extra. Maybe some pedestal. We need some extra pedestal. We need some more light, and that's it.
And then you're ready to go for.
Yeah, we're ready to go because I'm quite open-minded with the plan. Artists propose it, and then we discuss, and then we confirm. But at the same time, we have to be flexible. So maybe there was something happen, and then maybe I'm really strong. Hard now. I'm really strong with all the changes. So I didn't recall anything about that. Maybe I've already adapted.
You become very flexible.
Very flexible, or you're gonna have heart attack like all of a sudden.
If you worry about every little detail.
No.
So Peggy, in our remaining time, tell us about some of your recent exhibitions, and then we'll talk about the upcoming ones. But tell us about some of the recent months, including this challenging period of the virus. What are the exhibitions that you've had in 2020?
2020, we start up with the video artist Lin Guanming, and then Japanese artist, also video artist Sawa Hiraki. And I have a really good news that I would like to share with you. Lin Guanming showed the Taiwanese video artist in 2019 during summer, September, a painting called Xie Mu Qi. Both of them were in the finalist of Taixing Art Award.
Oh, congratulations.
It will announce tomorrow.
Oh. So tune in.
Tune in.
Watch out for the news.
Yes.
So when the artist's artwork wins an award, what's the relationship with the gallery at that point? Is it also a part of the award announcement that it was featured at a specific gallery?
Yeah, because they chose the show every year. For visual art, only 6 finalists, and they visit the exhibition in the gallery or in the museum, and of course will be included.
So it's the show that would win, that's being awarded, not a specific piece of art within the show.
No, the show. So I'm really happy because 1/3. I got 1/3.
You're 1/3 of the finalists were at your gallery. Well, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, what other exhibitions have you had in 2020?
2020, right now we had Heidi Wu, the 06, my flip side. It's a password of an email from the hacker. And then
wait, so if anyone writes it in, tries to use it right now, what will happen? 06, my flip side.
I'm not sure about which email address or which account, but in the exhibition we also found one interesting password is called "Let Me In 123."
But what kind of exhibition is this? Tell us in more detail.
It's about the how the computer or the cell phone, like people use constantly, but then you didn't aware of behind there are some dangerous things would
behind
happen.
Usually we're told we have to worry about what's in front.
But behind, you are unaware of the hacker probably already hack your...
Because they're looking over your shoulder.
Yes.
Because we're always warned to worry about in front. Don't be a ditozu, right? Looking down.
Yeah.
But the exhibition is built around the concept of also thinking about what's behind you.
What's behind you, and then you need to be aware of the danger.
And where's the artist from?
Belgium. Yeah, but she's based in Taiwan.
And is it a video or what kind of?
It's we have two new series. One is quilt hang on the wall. It's that's what we call the soft sculpture, and then we have sculpture from the ground. Yeah, two kinds, and it's really, really colorful. And then please have a look. Come and have a look.
And until what date will this exhibition be?
Until July 4th.
Okay, so a few more weeks to go.
Yes.
And you shared with me a postcard from the exhibition. On the front, there's a photo of looks like a woman, but not her, no face, so just a body, and it says "Date with Isabel." And there's a woman doing a weightlifting exercise.
Yes.
What does that have to do with looking behind and what you were talking about before?
The artist didn't want the invitation to be too obvious. We didn't put any artworks. Only the element. This is actually the element. The secondhand T-shirt. It was in the quilt. It's combined in the quilt. And
you should have called me. I have some T-shirts I could have donated.
Next time. I think she's developing, so we still need some more secondhands. And with the pattern and slogan, the best. She chose the one with the pattern or drawings or the slogan. That's the most important part.
And those are incorporated into the soft sculpture.
Yes.
And what's the next exhibition after that over the summer?
Next would be artists who curate a younger generation show, like a rising star in the summer, because summer is a little bit like low season, and I think it's a good timing to have this chance for a younger generation. Like 3 of them are still in school. And the curator is my artist, and he's really good at site-specific installation.
What does that mean for those who are not so familiar with?
Site-specific, you have a space, and then the artist would take a look around and then build from the space, build the artwork from the space, probably using the material around you or something that you cannot reproduce somewhere else. It's site specific.
But is then that artwork possible to be purchased by a museum or reinstalled somewhere else? Because you said it's site specific for your gallery.
Yes. So for site specific, you have a particular, like a special way to collect. Is like the documentation is very important, and sometimes we give you the documentation of how, or it really you can reproduce based on your space. And so, of course, artists need to step in and then measure your space and then reproduce again based on your space.
Okay, so summer will be the chance for the young artists.
Young artists.
And is that, I assume you also would encourage younger people who are interested in art to come to the gallery, especially during the summer, so they could see what people also at the start of their careers are able to achieve.
Yes.
And in the fall, do you have something scheduled?
Fall, my first time showing bio art.
What is that? Since we're all talking about virus and we're worried about things relating to medicine and health, and you're going to show bio. I mean, I got to be
dangerous.
Yeah, I got to be frank with you, Peggy. It sounds like biowarfare.
Bio art is related to, of course, people will think about genes or plants or.
Ooh, you didn't mean like blue jeans kind of jeans. You mean jeans like the ones in our body.
Jeans, in your body, and one of the artists would, take his or her own gene and then put it in the seed, and so when they grow, you have the gene inside. It was I forgot, it was overseas artist, but this time it's the Taiwan artist and plus the Wuhan artist.
The Wuhan artist is going to come to Taiwan.
Yes.
Well, this really this is definitely going to be bio art, Peggy.
Oh my God, I like that.
Thank you.
Oh,
does that get me into the exhibition? Do I get to do a talk?
You'll be the panelist. So tell us about.
Peggy, I would be honored to be the bio art. Peggy. Now, on this humorous note, give us a quick funny story though about something that's really funny that you've encountered in your time as a gallerist in Taipei in the art world. Something that a customer requested that was just so funny and you just couldn't accommodate it, or maybe you could, but it was just so unusual from the perspective of a professional gallerist?
Well, I'm not intends to talk about the client's parts, but I can share the artist part.
Sure.
Foreign artists from Japan, a collective, and then they were really young by then, and I think I rent 2 Airbnb together, and it was really, really small, tiny, small ones.
But that's okay because they were a collective, so they're used to being together.
Yeah, but they are so loud. The landlord just called me every day, saying, "Oh, they are too loud," and then the rest of the
neighbors are complaining.
They are not happy. And I was like, and I asked them, "Did you do that?" And then they were like, "No, we are not." And I was like, "Okay, I trust you." But then one night, it was before the long weekend. The landlord called. "I'm sorry, I have to kick them out tomorrow morning." And a long weekend. I think it was 清明节, April. And where can I get the accommodation? It was like 2 a.m. And they have to leave at 8 a.m.
So what did you do? You put them in the gallery?
No, I just try. I think I only can get one room in TAV, Taipei Artist Village. One room for 5 person. I was like, because...
Now, Peggy, you're being very careful here because you're not telling us what they did that caused all the noise.
They were too loud. They only one stairs and then really close to the room. So the people were complaining. And then no smoking. No smoking. They smoke. No talking on the public in this public space.
Well, they were making art. They were contributing to the growth of art, right?
It's a residential area.
So, Peggy, before we go, where can people find out more about the gallery? I know you have a great Instagram account, and you have a great Facebook page, and you have a great website. So why don't you give them all to our listeners?
It's Project Fulfill. You can just search for Project Fulfill, one word, and then you'll find us.
Find Facebook,
website, and Instagram.
Terrific. Well, Peggy Lin from Project Fulfill Art Space, thank you so much for being our guest on Residence Messenger, and we certainly encourage people listening to support the arts, support contemporary art,
Taiwan contemporary art,
support Taiwan contemporary art, and visit the galleries because it's safe to do so. It doesn't matter virus; it's still safe to visit the galleries. So please definitely do so. You've been listening to Residence Messenger with your host Ross Darrell Feingold on Taipei Broadcasting Station. Thank you, and have a great weekend.